Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going? Today we're going to be talking about confidence, and I know it's a little bit different. You're not seeing me in front of a goal or training somebody else, but this is something that needed to be talked about because it kind of makes a big difference for you and scouts watching you, or you're on a tryout, or just looking to get your starting spot, and it's confidence, right? So a lot of players ask me about, what can I do to step my mental game up? And a lot of it has to do with just how you look on, like, when you're on the ball. So, like, how you look kind of sets that vibe. If you're hunched down, your head's down, and you kind of just look like you're not confident, you don't look like you're decisive, you don't look like you know what you're doing and that you're okay with being on the ball or being on the field, that kind of sets the vibe. So a little bit about what it can do for you. The vibes that you give off and how you're sitting I'm sitting, but the vibes you give off from when you're on the ball, when you collect the ball and you're making deliberate movement, it's because you're confident, one, knowing that what you're doing is correct. Even if you make a mistake, right? You say the wrong thing, like, oh, you're like man on, and that person really had time. Or you ask for a pass, even though you had players on you. That shows confidence. And not saying that doing the wrong things is okay, right? But whatever you decide to do it with confidence. Don't be afraid of the mistake, because coaches don't want players who are afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes happen. Coaches know that mistakes happen. But the players that demand the ball even after they make a mistake, and that's a great segue. So demanding. So let's talk about how it sounds. So when you're scared to ask for the ball, or when you're like telling your teammates, hey, like man on. So if you're like, yeah, ball, and it's quiet, that's a sign of lack of confidence. But if you're like, hey, yeah, ball, let's go, or you're like, yeah, give it, yeah, 1-2, you know what I mean? Your tone is super important. And just imagine, when you're gonna be at that level, when you're playing professional and there's hundreds and thousands of people in the stands who are all yelling and chanting and things like that. You think if you're like, yeah, ball, you think that anyone's gonna hear you? Or you're like, hey, turn, find me feet, right? If you don't say it with that energy and you don't demand the ball, yell at the top of your lungs, your teammates will forgive you later. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to yell at them, I don't want to make anyone feel bad. Like, no, if you're wide open in front of goal, scream your head off. Demand the ball. Your sound, if it's a high pitched sound, kind of nasally, that's not going to get the job done, right? Say it with authority. Say it with your belly, right? Say it with your chest. You want to say, like, you want to demand it. That's the real thing. You want to demand the ball. All right. And so number one was your body positioning, like chest up, you're standing up tall, right? Doesn't mean that your knees aren't bent and you're not ready to move and you're not ready to run, but on the ball, your chest is up, right? It's not hunched over. You're not hunched down. Your head's not down. It's up. You're ready to go. You're ready, and you're making deliberate movement. So you collect the ball, your first touch is in front of you, or the defender's coming at you, your first touch right away, you're making a move, you're going in a certain direction. They don't want to see players that collect it, then after they collect it, pick their head up, and it's slow, and you just kind of have no real sense of what you're doing, right? And that's part of the confidence thing, how you sound as a player, right? When you're demanding that ball, it's not a high-pitched nasally tone. It's, you're demanding the ball. Even, depending like whether you're a girl, I don't want you to be like, yo, give me the ball. Like, no. Right? But your voice has some weight behind it, right? So when you're demanding the ball, you're asking for it, or you're telling somebody to play the ball that they should play, say it with confidence, right? Say it from your belly versus like saying it from your nose where you're like, hey, man on, right? Don't be annoying. That would really frustrate me. If someone had that nasally voice, I would almost not want to play with them. But apart from that, trying trying moves, trying stuff, trying different things, hitting a long ball, and how you respond after it. If you make a mistake and after the mistake, all those things happen and you notice those things, you know right away what you can do to change it, right? Get your head up, get your chest up. Next time you ask for the ball, right? Or you're near the ball, make sure you ask for it. Those things you want to make sure you correct right away. If you notice yourself at training, every time you make a mistake, you put your head down or you put your hand on your head or you say something negative, cut it out right away. And then, set a small little goal. Like next pass I make, I'm going to connect, right? Set up something that's super easy to do. All right, next time, I collect the ball, I'm going to take my first touch to goal. Or I'm gonna take my first touch away from the defender. Set yourself an easy goal. That'll help you build your confidence, right? You get that little thing done. All right, cool. Next thing is, I'm gonna get a shot on frame. Little things like that is what you can use to build your confidence during the game. I'm gonna make a good run, right? Little goals, right? And the little goals will pick up and become bigger goals. And I'm gonna score. I know the next one I'm gonna score. Like last time, keeper saved it. Whatever, next shot is going in for sure, right? So we set little goals for ourselves, and the more success that we have will build more success. And I think lastly, the one thing I want to say is that the confidence can't be based on performance. You got to know that you're a good player, and you got to believe in yourself that you're a good player. So like believing and knowing are the two biggest parts of this. Because if it's like, okay, I did something good, I'm a good player, then the moment you do something bad, you're a bad player, right? And then you do something good, like it's just gonna like emotional roller coaster. That's gonna be so hard to say like, oh, am I a good player? Well, I do good things. Are you a bad player? Well, I do bad things. I don't know. Someone asked you today, am I a good player? It's not conceited. You're not being, rude or a jerk. Are you a good player? Yes, I'm a good player. Yes, I'm a good player, and I'm getting better. That's how you have to look, like just like I'm looking in the camera right now. Imagine this is the mirror. Before your game, I'm a good player. Before your practice, I'm a good player, and I'm getting better. You tell yourself that every day. It's true, because every day that you train, you touch the soccer ball, you watch a game, you watch yourself, you watch the professionals. You learn something from YouTube, wherever you learn it from, you are learning and you're getting better. So confidence is something that you should have. And remember, it's not based on performance. It's what you believe. Now, with that being said, you can't not train. You can't not put in the work and then look in the mirror and tell yourself every day, oh, I'm a good player and I'm getting better. Because your actions aren't supporting your words. You can't, people lie to themselves and say they are what they aren't, but ultimately you know that you're lying. So if you're really putting in the work, then your speech has to match that. You have to let yourself know that, hey, I'm putting in the work for this. I'm good and I'm getting better. And eventually I'll be where I want to be. But if your words are saying something positive, but your work ethic is negative, then what's going to stand out more? Your actions always speak louder than your words, but your words will help your actions speak louder, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it does. But so that was a quick little talk. A little different being in front of the camera and saying a lot of stuff, but something I just wanted to get out for you guys. If you have any questions about confidence, or you need a little bit more help on some tips on gaining confidence on the field, just let me know. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, and if you're seeing for the first time, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching, guys. Later. Speaking of confidence, man, I was a little bit nervous. It's always weird, just get a little nervous just straight talking to the camera. Like, I've been on commercials. I don't know, I've been on the field. I've played in front of 1,000 people. Like, talking in front of the camera, something you got to do more, I still get that little, that, like the pre-game jitters where you're like, oh man, this is going to be amazing. And it's kind of good. It's a good feeling because you're like, wow, really about to do this right now. New boot review coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. Should be up in about a week or so. See you guys next time.